Hi, thank you all so much for being here today. 7 years ago, when I was a student, I tried to seek resources at my university, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And when I had told an employee about my experience, she blamed me and asked me what I would have done differently in that situation. About 2.5 years ago, another UNC student, Andrea Pino, reached out to me and told me her story of rape and subsequent mistreatment by the university. Her story eerily resembled my own. But we soon realized that we were not alone in our experiences, and students around the country were not receiving the safe and equitable education promised by glossy brochures and federal law. So along with other survivors, we spoke out and gave Jane Doe a face. But while we need culture change, we also need legislation that flips the incentives so survivors are no longer seen as PR crises to be managed. Currently, it is more likely for a survivor to drop out of school than it is for a rapist to be expelled. That is unacceptable. And though healing from trauma is different and it's a nonlinear process, this process should not include reliving our personal rape stories in the press to shame our colleges into complying with the law. So I thank all of the senators standing here today for your support. We hope that this bill will pass. I think it will pass because campus violence does not have a political party. And we need this bill because our students deserve better than the current status quo, where 20 to 25% of our female students will graduate with a second degree, a degree entitled Rape Survivor. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Andrea Pino.
Thank you, Senators Gillibrand, McCaskill, and other brave colleagues here standing beside us. I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to work closely with Senator Gillibrand's office in drafting of this bill ever since Annie and I walked into the Senator's office without an appointment. The CASA Act is a culmination of our efforts as survivors and symbolizes an opportunity for Congress to finally step up to the plate. Every school in each of the 50 states is plagued with sexual violence, and it is the responsibility of our elected officials to address these concerns. It is rare to see a bipartisan coalition in Congress these days, and this should send a clear message to everyone in this country that sexual violence is not a partisan issue. It is an American issue. It's time. It's time for our students to be students again, without the challenge of single-handedly holding their schools accountable, and without the fear of sharing a degree with their rapist. The time to fight is now. Please stand with us.